Hey everybody, welcome live tonight. Thank you so much for joining in. I got a good one for you. The comments tonight is Ask Al. Recently in the last few days, I've got a lot of comments and people have questions. So tonight I'm going to address a lot of the questions that people may have had. If you can, before we get started, send out a text to a couple people that you want to join the call tonight. Matter of fact, hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, or you could go to the website, click on subscribe, and as it pops up in the mailbox, put your information, email, and we appreciate that, and click and sign up. Some of you know I'm an author also. If you can, go back to the channel, All Things Business, and get my book called God's Gifts, because being an author has a 36 years of experience in there, and it talks about a lot that will bless you and help you. Not only that, I personally coach 21 people who are millionaires to this day. And I've got a lot of things on the channel you might want to check out. What help you answer a lot of questions you may have if you go back and visit some of the things on there, like, comfortable yet committed. What is your greatest gift? That's a good one. Champions are, just released that. Declare war on yourself. And there's so much good stuff on the channel. Please go back and watch it and send it out to people and discuss it. So tonight I'm going to go into some questions that people have that I want to address, and they were pretty great. So I'm going to go through some of them tonight, and I know you'll get a blessing out of it. So one of the first questions is defining moments in my life. Well, look at it this way: we all have defining moments in our life. One of my defining moments is in the book. I talked about my dad and I were under the car, in the garage working when I was a teenager, and he asked me to pass him a wrench or a screwdriver or something that had grease on it. And I made a decision then, one of my defining moments. I looked at my hand with grease on it. I said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to work with my hands. I need to find a business that I could own and get paid and work for myself, because I learned early, nobody is going to pay me what I'm worth. And now, not only that, they're not going to pay you for what you're worth. Another defining moment in my life is when I got involved with network marketing. I did my first meeting in Stockton, and it rained that day. And I went down and got to the house, and nobody was there. And I was drenched going up and down the porch of an old Victorian. And I had to get my stuff off. I went back to the car and put my key in ignition. And when I got in the ignition, I sat there in the car, and I just sat there thinking, wow, either I'm gonna make a lot of money like some of these guys and girls who the number one and number two income earner were, or I could decide to give up. But I've never given up on things in my life. And I'm not going to give up on this. I'm going to continue going until I become successful, until I'm written in books or whatever. I have a saying: you must work so hard that your signature becomes an autograph. And I decided that moment, sitting in that car on that rainy day in Stockton, California, 45 minutes from Sacramento, that I'm going to make it in this company. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to look left. I'm not going to look right. I'm going to look straight ahead. Another question that I want to address that was asked: how do you silence the negative voices of your loved ones? One of the key things is, when you do anything, everybody have opposition when they start. I remember Roger Bannister, before he broke the 4-minute mile, nobody believed it was possible. And once he done it, everybody started doing it. So in other words, you got to set your sights on your goal, your dreams, your desires. Remember, they're yours, and God gave you those goals. If he didn't think you could do it, he would have never gave that inside of you. It's one of your gifts. And what you got to do is put your head down and go to work and make it real. There's a saying go: even a band leader must turn his back to the crowd or to the audience to conduct the band. So in other words, you got to turn back from everybody behind you to look at the band that you want to take control of. So sometimes you have to turn your back to things that people say, do, in opposition, and continue going forward. If it was easy, everybody would do it. The problem with the world today, everybody wants it easy. Everybody wants it instantly. Instant coffee, instant this, microwave that. No, folks. Everybody in Hollywood thinks, or a singer, they say how successful they are, but they don't see the 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years starving to death to be able to keep working through that to get where they are today. So anybody successful has to put the time in, and don't worry about what others say, because you're going to get that no matter what. Whatever you start, trust me, there's always going to be many people against what you're doing. Understand this: a lot of people don't want to do more, and they don't want to see you with more. So that's pretty much par for the course. They rather sit on the couch and shoot at you than join you because it's easy to do nothing. So remember that. So how do you silence them? You become successful. You become successful. I got many friends of mine in different industries that can attest to what I'm saying because their family was against them. Their family said, if you don't do this or that, you got to move out of here. And some of them had to sacrifice to move out. And then when it became successful, all their friends said to them, we knew you could do it. We knew you could do it. We knew you could do it. But along that rocky road, it was lonely. It was quiet. I've been atop of 2 network marketing companies. I have several different businesses. And you know what? Not everybody was for me. So get ready for that. You just got to put on what I call have strong rhino skin, because rhinos got thick skin, 3 inches thick, So when they shoot at you, they just bounce off of you and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. You must charge at your goals like a rhino in the wild. And don't look left, don't look right, put blinders on like a horse in a race and continue going. It's not easy, but then again, it's not for everybody. But you know what? It's easier today than ever before because there's less people trying. More people are dumbed down with free money, dumbed down with drugs, dumbed down with alcohol, just dumbed down today. So folks, it's easier today than ever before because so many people have got off track. So many people don't believe in themselves. So many people, family, friends, has shot down people's goals. The most expensive place or most expensive real estate in the world is located? Can you guess? What do you think? Hawaii? Okay. We're in Hawaii. New York City? We're in New York City. San Francisco? We're in San Francisco. And you're saying, Mr. Thomas, what do you mean, where? Well, let me tell you, all 3 of them have some of the most expensive real estate. And where's it located? It's called the graveyard. Let me say it again. It's called the graveyard. I'm thoroughly convinced people died with the cure of cancer. People had music in them. People had ideas. People had new inventions. People could have changed the world. Another story. This guy was on his deathbed. He was about ready to die. And he was trying to change the world. And he thought about it. He was in the hospital. And he just before he passed away, a minute or 2 before that, he said, you know what? If I could only change the people in my state, I could have changed the world. A few minutes later, wait a minute. If I only changed the people in my city, I could have changed the world. And then he thought, wait a minute. If I only changed the people on my block where I live, I could have changed the world. And just before he passed away, he said, oh my God. He hung his head down and looked back up. I got it. If I don't change me, I could have changed the world. Folks, I know that story resonates with a lot of you around the world. It's all about you. If you could just change you. So this is how you overcome that. The negative naysayers from family and friends. Just keep on going. Just keep on going. Just keep on going. Just keep on going. Next question I got from Mr. Cushing, Canada. After having a conversation with someone who is cold market and who is not interested in the business, how do you ask them for services or appear not to be a salesperson? Well, a lot of times what we do, we think that way. We think that way. Not them, we think that way. Now think about this, folks. Who taught you to think the way you think? Were they positive or were they negative Nellies? A lot of times we carry excess baggage into relationships, into business, thinking, what are they going to say? Well, I'm not going to talk to this person because what they're thinking of me. They may not be thinking what you're thinking. That's you thinking that way. I want to give you some personal development, some books and some great things on our book club that we're working on this particular month. We're working on a book called 10X is Better. 10X is easier than 2X. Great book because these books help you. As you can tell, I got little sliders in here because we're studying this in chapter by chapter. There's 6 chapters we're studying. Another good book we just got finished going through our book club with. We meet on the channel. You should go back to the channel and watch it. Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. And I mean, great stuff to overcome this stuff in your mind, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Great book. And matter of fact, if you get the audio, audio is kind of eerie. It sounds, I don't know what a devil sounds like, but boy, I tell you, if there was ever one that I could picture sound, that CD, the audio, it will get you. Trust me, it's eerie, very eerie. One of the most eeriest things I ever heard. So personal development is good. My dear friend, Dr. Miles Monroe, who passed, a great book on leadership, Becoming a Leader Anybody Can Do, by Dr. Miles Monroe. Excellent. Because we need to develop ourselves. This muscle called a brain needs to be developed. You know, Think and Grow Rich is one of the top books. I call it the Bible book for business. Second greatest book is by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is a great book you can pick up for a few dollars and read it, because it's all about how to influence friends, how to win friends and influence people. And yes, it'll help you influence the negative naysayers. Great book, great book, great book. So personal development, how many hours a day are you diving into personal development? And for those of you guys out there in network marketing and direct sales, this is a great book, The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. Is another great book. You know, I'm an avid reader. I read about 3 books a month. I just finished up one by, I can't think of his name right now. I just finished up another book. So I'm always in it. Remember, leaders are readers. I know what some of you say, Mr. Thomas, I don't like to read. Get over it. I listen to tapes, Mr. Thomas. I see these, Mr. Thomas. I go to audios. Good. Fantastic. But reading is you can take the book, bend the pages back, go back and take a book notes. Here's how you read a book. You read it once with the highlighter. You read the highlights the second time around, and then the third time around you take notes. Look at all these things I've got in this book here. Look, I got highlighted already because I'm studying. This is called studying a book. Most people read a book. You ask them, what'd you get out of it? I don't know. That's why you need to join our book club. But you got to really study a book. Study it. That way you get the meat and potatoes out of it. That way you walk away with some knowledge, not another book you've read, but then gain anything out of it. So that's what I would say. So much for that question. My next question here was really good. By the way, thank you for that, Mr. Cush. Thank you. I see Miss Jackie Black out there in Connecticut. Thank you for joining tonight. Oh, Miss Renata Kramer, thank you so much out in New York. She might be in Europe. This woman travels all over the world. Captain Williams in Sacramento, thank you so much. We'd like to see you guys out there. This is done by a gentleman, Mr. Baker, had sent this to me. What are the top 5 things that you would have missed? Listen to this. What are the top 5 things you would have missed out on in life if you didn't stick with network marketing or owning businesses? Wow. A lot of times we don't think about what we would miss out on. Sometimes I think what negative, most people, they think about, you know, not what they're going to miss out on, what they're going to miss, period. Or they don't even look at the opportunity or what the blessings can be when you have a business like a residual-based business. Well, one of the things I got, he said 5 things. So I'm going to give you one of them real quickly here. My kids coming up, I was working my network marketing business so much. Listen, honestly, ladies, we get emotional. I miss I remember missing a 3rd year birthday party, a 5th year, and a 6th year birthday party. Let me tell you something. Do you think, ladies, I know it's important to ladies and guys, it's important to us as well, but because I was out building a business. Now listen up real closely to this, because this is going to bless a lot of you. Do you think my kids at 3, 4, and 6 or 7, because I missed their party, do you think today as an adult they remember that? No, they don't remember that. But let me tell you what they do remember. They remember going to private school that their daddy paid for. They remember going to college in a private college that their daddy paid for. But if I ask them right now, and you ask your kids right now, do you guys remember daddy and mommy missing when you were 3, 4, 5-year-old your birthday? They don't remember that. So why do we understand? If you're going to build something, you got to, what are you willing to give up to go up? My kids had an opportunity because their daddy went to work to build a business, to build an empire, to build something worthwhile, to build something that I could leave to them. I sacrificed something, but look at the bigger picture. My kids flew around in private jets because I sacrificed a few birthday parties and maybe a few other things that they don't even remember today. We went to, let me show you something. We went to over to London to the Burberry factory. Look how we came back on the jet. That's when I was married. All of us had Burberry on. We took the jet over to London to go get the Burberry. They remember that. Because I got pictures. But if I ask you, what about your birthday? They remember that. I got pictures. There's another time we took the jet to go to the ranch. Those things they can remember because it was lasting. There's lasting. So number one, being able to provide above and beyond for a little bit of sacrifice when they're young. And I know sometimes we put guilt trips on each other because, you know, you missed the party, you missed the party. It's an emotional thing. I was building a legacy. And like I said before, even the band conductor must turn his back. Must turn his back to the audience to conduct the band. A little bit to go up. Number two, well, that's a great question. Top 5 things I would have missed out on in life if I didn't stick to network marketing and other businesses. Number 2 is called freedom. Freedom. What do you mean, Mr. Thomas? Freedom. I own my life. Let me say it again. I own my life because I put the time in early. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I own my life today. Well, what does that mean? I have freedom. I own my life. I own 100% of my time. Let me give you a glimpse of my day. We have 2 options every morning. Roll out of bed, go to work, or my option, roll out or roll over. I roll over and roll out about 3 or 4, about 4 in the morning because that's just who I am. I get up, I pray, I take time out to pray, I get time to read scripture, I take time out to drink my tea and stuff and prepare myself. Then I take a walk early, 4:30, 5 o'clock, working on my Spanish because I'm learning Spanish. As I'm walking, I'm still learning as I'm walking. I come back, I take a quick 15-minute power nap, start my conference calls in the morning at 9, and then in the afternoon, I take another walk. I take my second walk. About 3 o'clock, I might eat my only meal for the day, and then I do conference calls at night. That's my day. Tough day, isn't it? Real tough day. Real tough day. Real tough day. Did you notice? I did what I wanted to do. Well, Mr. Thomas, I got bills. Oh, I do too. Because I did something early and kept at it by being faithful. Now I can enjoy the rest of my life and do the things I want to do. Go when I want to go. You know, when I want to go on a vacation, you know what I want to do? I go in the bathroom and I flip the switch on. I look in the big mirror and I wink at the guy in the mirror. You want to go? He's never said no. He didn't have to call anybody. He didn't have to check with anybody. He didn't ask for permission. Am I making sense to you? But see, these are the blessings. Now, if I didn't do network marketing, can you imagine going to McDonald's and there I'm there at McDonald's behind the counter with a McDonald's hat on, talking about, hey, you want to super fries those fries? You probably start laughing. I've never had a job because I listened to those 3 billionaires that trained me. So, number 2 is freedom. I own 100% of my time and my life. I get up, do what I want to do when I feel like doing it, and don't have to report to nobody. Number 3, residual income. That's a word that escaped a lot of us. My parents didn't teach me about residuals. High school didn't teach me about residuals. The 1 year or 2 years I went to, they didn't teach me about nothing about residuals. When I got around wealthy people, they said, Mr. Al Thomas, there's 2 things you got to have that 95% of the population, I don't care how many degrees they got, how many more people got more degrees than the thermometer, and not being disrespectful, but they said they never taught them the ways of wealthy people. And I was like, what's the ways of wealthy people? My mentor gave me a notepad and a nice fancy pen. He goes, son, take these notes down. I'm going to give you 2 things that escape 99% of the people in the world. I said, yes, sir. Before I work with you, let me see if you're worth my time. He said, what did your mom and dad tell you about money? I said, go to school, get a good education, find a good job. He started laughing. He said, son, you were trained to work for rich people like me. You were never trained to get wealthy. And I kind of took back and like, well, wait a minute now, hold it now. I'm good people. And good. My mentor says, no, you missed the point, son. He says, I'm going to give you the first word. Write this down in your journal I just gave you. Number one, he said, always have journals. And ladies and gentlemen, I got 36 years of journals because I learned from what they did to get where they're at. So after he gave me around the jet, he said, you're worth it. I had never been on a private jet in my life. I said, what's the key? Because I mean, he's living my lifestyle I want to have. I'm all ears. As long as it's legal, I ain't going to jail. He gave me that pen and that journal. He goes, the first rule, son, I'm going to teach you is wealthy people. He said, write this down word for word. I said, yes, sir. He said, wealthy people have leverage. And forgive me how I say this, because I'm going to break it down like he gave it to me. I'm not trying to be sarcastic to anybody out there around the world. Trust me. This is exactly what he said to me and how he said it to me. Because he said it to me in a way he was trying to shake me up so I would not forget the lesson. He said, wealthy people have leverage, son. He says the broke people that work for us is the leverage. And I thought it was kind of harsh. But Miss Lynch, what he was trying to tell me is, who you want to listen to? Those people over there? Or do you want my lifestyle? He says, wealthy people have leverage. It's the broke people that work for us that is the leverage. And I start thinking, wow, my parents have been working 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. They're still struggling. Like a lot of people, my uncles and aunts. He says, leverage. He says, let me break down the word leverage to you, son. I said, please do. And I was writing it down word for word. He says, let me describe leverage. He says, how many Starbucks in your town? One or zillions? I said, zillions of them. He goes, that's right. He says, how would you like to get a quarter on every cup of coffee sold in all the Starbucks? And you're not even there. I couldn't even fathom that. I was the first time I ever heard this. Like, is that even possible? Is that legal? He goes, yeah. Leverage. Getting a little bit off everybody. He said, J. Paul Getty said, I'd rather get 10% off of everybody's efforts than 100% of his own. I said, wow, J. Paul Getty said that. Wealthy person. Oh, wow. Let me give you an idea. McDonald's does it. How many McDonald's in your area? Starbucks, CVS, Walgreens, grocery stores, Colonel Sanders. Think about it. Burger King. Leverage. That's how wealthy people get wealthy. They have many outlets, not just one. See, most people, if they don't go to work tomorrow, they don't make any money. Because bang, they're the only leverage is themselves or their wife or husband or significant other. My mentor said, son, that's not smart. You'll continue to do that for the next 10, 20, 30 years. You'll be burnt out. And then once you get over a certain age, once you're over 40 years old, they'll trade you in for 220s. So in other words, they kick you to the pasture and they retire you on what you couldn't make it on in the first place. Now you got to take a second job just to be even. And that's why a lot of people at Walmart are greeters. I said, wow, that just dawned on me. That's so true. He says they train you to put your money in a 401k rather than invest in yourself. He says by the time that comes around, your 401k will be down to a K. He says you give your money to he said Warren Buffett said people drop their money off the people that on Wall Street, drive up in a Rolls Royce, drop it off to people on Wall Street, and the people on Wall Street take a subway home at night. He says, son, that's why most people will always be broke. They're scared to do a little bit of investing. Either it's a network marketing company, if it's real estate, or it's their own traditional business. And he says, if it fails, so what? He would always say, fail fast and get back on the horse. Most people fail one time. Oh my God, I tried network marketing, it didn't work for me. Wait a minute, let me ask you a question. You lose a job or get fired from a job, do you stop working? Oh, I can't do work no more, I got fired. No, you find another one, don't you? So how's that any different? It's not. It's just we've been programmed because of other people here. My mentor always told me, never follow the crowd. The crowd has always been wrong. He said, think I'm lying? He said, go to any freeway from 8 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock in the morning at 9. He says, you get killed out there, son. He said, we're on the other side of the freeway going opposite direction because we want to get out of their way. And then at 5 o'clock, we switch directions. I said, wow. He said, you'll never get wealthy, work for someone else, son. They pay you just enough to stop you from quitting, and you do just enough to stop him from firing you. He said, is that what you want your whole life, never have freedom? And then you get 60 or 70, you're kicked into the curb, and now you're too doggone old to go anywhere. Now you got to take all this medication. And now you're too sick to travel. Your life's over. I said, wow. He said it to me in a way, it wasn't harsh. At the time it sounded harsh, but he was trying to wake me up to show me the reality of what my future would look like if I listened to them versus listening to him. And I said, I'm listening to you because you have all the accolades that I want. You own your time, you got your own jet, you got, oh my God. When I bought my first mansion, I said, oh, you know, I want one of those too. Well, anyway, let's move on. So number three, residual income. Think about your favorite actor or actresses. How many times did you do the movie? Boop, one time. And anytime that song or that movie played, they get paid month after month, year after year, decade after decade on music. I mean, think about your favorite music artist. They went to the studio, cut the song one time, and anytime that song plays anywhere in the world, you get residual income. I stayed down the street from Smokey Robinson. I was chatting with him on the plane. As a matter of fact, I did a talk one time on stage. I was talking about he makes $300,000 a month residually. And one time I was out flying commercial. I was out in Nashville coming back to Vegas. We sat next to each other in first class. And I wanted to say something to him that he wouldn't think I was just a regular, you know, just you know, oh my God, it's Smokey. So I didn't want to think I was so I said something to him that he could relate to. And I thought about it for a second. So this is what I said to Smokey Robinson. We're in first class sitting next to each other. His bodyguard was on the other side of the aisle. I said, hey, neighbor. He said, neighbor? I go, yeah, we're neighbors. And let me tell you, you live here and I live over here. He goes, oh yeah, we are neighbors. They opened the man up and we had a great conversation for the next 2.5 hours. Residual income. I just was informed Michael Jackson made more money last year than any other entertainer. Now, wait a minute. He's been dead, what, 8, 9, 10 years? He made more money dead than alive. Michael Jackson made more money than any entertainer in 2024 than anybody. Why? How's that possible? Residual income, folks. So number one, birthday parties and kids in private schools flying around at this. Number two, freedom. Number three is residual income. Number four thing that I would miss out in life if I did not stick to my network marketing or traditional businesses that I own. Number four was travel. I love to travel. I have been to 29 countries. I was in Fresno, California just a few months ago, and I was with Mr. Harrison Mill, and I was looking through my text messages and emails, and I got an email from American Airlines. Hey, we got special for your, I'm a executive platinum for, anyway. And they said, we got specials going on with down to all these Spanish countries. And I said, oh, I've never been to Colombia. And Colombia was one of them. So I started clicking in right there in the car. Hey, he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm booking that flight to Colombia. I booked the flight. He says, you actually do the stuff you say. I go, absolutely. I don't have to report and ask anybody if I want to go. I want to go. And I know my schedule for the next 90 days. I keep it with me. And then I got off there, and then I went online and booked my airline tickets. Booked the hotel with points. It's also on the channel. I talk about how to use points. It's a 3-part series on the channel here. Go watch that and get those cards and how you can use points and travel for free. So I booked my airline, I booked my hotel. Everything cost me $11.20. And then I checked with Mr. Clemens because we need to check our schedules. And he said, oh, you got this going on. So I couldn't go. I'm just joking. The whole idea, why not you? Freedom, travel. I'm leaving for a cruise here recently. I booked it with all points. I love it. I'm going on Virgin for 5 days. It cost me 250,000 points, including tips, security, airline. Just everything, all included with internet, everything. 250,000 points. What a suite. with a balcony. Yeah. And then I got my airline tickets, flew down from here straight to Miami. It's $21,500. Oh, that cost me $11. The whole thing cost me $11.20. Go to my channel, look up the credit cards and credit stuff. It'll bless you. I talk on there for free. And get those cards that we would tell you to get. We'll tell you how to use those on there as well. So what about the freedom to travel? I've been to 29 countries. How many have you been to? How many do you really want to go to, but you haven't gone yet? Then my question is, why not you? Next question, number 5. Go shopping without looking at the price tags. Priceless. 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 I had started, and one of my goals when I started network marketing was to buy a mansion, check. Get a jet, check. Get this, check. And we know what I did? I would have 3 houses I live between. When I go to when I go buy clothes at that time, I'd buy 3 of everything. Sir, and I get to the register, sir, you got 3 black shirts, it's all the same. Yeah. Sir, you got 4, you got 3 of these, all the same. I go, yeah. And this is what I would say. I have 3 different homes I lived in. And it's okay. It's not for everybody. But what am I saying? I went out there and paid the price. Are you willing to pay the price to get the things that you truly want? And I'm going to tell you something. If you can't make it in America or Canada, most parts of the world, you can't make it nowhere. I mean, you can do it. I don't care what, you can do it for wherever you're at. If you choose to put your head down and go to work. Now, I'm going to give you a bonus, number 6. I'm going to give you a bonus one, because that was a good question. What are the top 5 things that you would have missed out on in life if you did not stick to network marketing or your traditional business or in real estate? Because this channel is called All Things Business, and I had a lot of them. You know, one of the blessings was hearing me in Gold River at my house with 3 of my Mercedes, all matching. 450, 500, 320, and then a 320S. All 3 cars matching. Yeah, what a blessing. You know, I went to the dealership and I bought a car, and I went in there, had a service. I saw another one. I said, I'll take that one. I went in 6 months later and I saw another, a 4-door that matched the 2-seaters. And I said, put a bow on, I'll take that one too. You know, folks, this is, you asking me questions. But I'm asking you a question. Why not you? Why not you? One of the bonuses was I wanted my own plane. So here's my first one. There I'm at the airport, getting ready to jump on it with my pilot, because I didn't know how to fly. I was taking flying lessons. I didn't have time, so I hired a pilot. And here's another picture of it. Gary takes some people up on a trip with me. And then later on, I sold that one. Then I got my, my Gulfstream, and my little SL. Now, these are things that any of us can do if you're willing to go work hard. You have to sacrifice. You have to put the time in. There's no shortcuts. The only place that I know success comes before work is in a dictionary. It takes work. I'm not gonna lie, it takes work. It all takes work. So to highlight, the question, what are the top 5 things that I would have missed out on in life if I did not stick to my network marketing or traditional business at home? Number 1, private school for my kids, flying them around on private jets, paying for them to go to private school. Number 2, the freedom of life, to be able to own your life. I mean, have you ever taken a day off, just what I call a because day? What's a because day? Don't go to work just because I don't feel like it. The only time the average person takes time off is when somebody died and they got to go to a funeral. Are you sick? That's sad. We're grown adults here. You deserve more. Last night I was out with my 3 amigos. So there's 3 of us. We go out. We decided, about this year, around my birthday, hey guys, let's get together once a month and go out to dinner. Once a month. So last night was that night. So 3 of us, so-and-so they had to pick a restaurant, what time, date, we pick up. So next month we're doing July 3rd, we pick a date and a time to meet up because life's too short. So number 2 was freedom, owning your life, owning your time, being totally free. Number 3, residual-based income. Nothing like it in the world. And if you don't have it, it's not too late. Go build it. So as you get older, your hair turns, your hair turns white and your teeth fall out. Just joking. You still got, don't count on that social insecurity to be around. It's broke. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Don't wait on it, because it ain't gonna be here, folks. So what are you gonna fall back on? Family and friends? You gonna move them all in your house? You gonna move in with them? I see so many people using their kids and grandkids for their retirement plan. Don't let that be you. Go build something. Build some residual income for your family to live long after you're gone. You ever go into a wealthy person's house? What's over the fireplace, man? A picture of great-great-grandpa and great-great-grandma, because they did something to change the family tree. You go to a person's house who slaved all their life, what's over their fireplace? They may not even have one. Big difference in philosophies. They both work hard, but one works smarter. So number 4 is traveling for me. Number 5 is shopping without looking at price tags. And that was it. And the bonuses was being able to buy a couple different, first a plane, and then a jet, and then another jet. Different than the plane and a jet, trust me. So these are the questions that you guys had asked me to answer. And hopefully it's inspired you. I think I got another one here. Let's see, it came in. Okay, here's another one. How do you balance negative impact from others in your family? Well, you just have to make that decision that you're all in, and there's no turning back. You know, as I read up on Napoleon Bonaparte, who's one of the greatest conquerors in the world, he would go from port to port. He's a little short guy, and what he would do, each country that he would defeat, he would burn the boats in the harbor. Yeah, he burned the boats for 2 reasons. He would tell his men, hey, we're going to take the next city, the next country, we're going to take it. If not, they're going to win. So we're going to go for it. We'll burn our boats. And we come here, we burnt their, first of all, then when they burnt their boats, it scared the people in the country that he was in. It scared them. They saw the fire. Oh my God, oh my, he's here. It scared them. And he told his men, we got to take their boats because we don't even have our boats, because he set their boats on fire. So we got to go take their boats. And he would conquer and conquer and conquer. Why? Because he was laser focused at the task at hand. He never doubted himself. And if you look at more successful people, guess what? They had it, success burning in their gut, their soul, their desire. They had it. They kept going till they got there. They started, watch this. They started with the end in mind. They didn't look at all the broken glass and barbed wire they had to walk through and the dumps and all this stuff. They saw the end in mind, and they started from the beginning because they knew where we were going to end up. And they knew they had to go through some things. They know they had to go through the muck and mire. They knew they had to get shot at and bow and arrows and everything. They knew it. Just like the people come across the country and in the covered wagons, they knew they were going to the Golden State. And they knew they had opposition along the way. They knew the road was going to be rough. They're going to lose some people and some wagons and some horses, but they kept going west. What's the old saying? Go west, young man, go west. They didn't say, well, we're going to try. We'll try to make it. No, they were going to make it because they started the journey with the end in mind from the East Coast going to the West Coast. With no doubt. Was it easy? Nope. Did it take some work? Absolutely. And like I said before, the only place that success comes before work is in a dictionary. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for this session, Ask Al. I appreciate you guys for your questions. I appreciate and I prepared tonight for you guys this, but I also, go back to the channel. There's a lot of great things on the channel. There's one called Everybody Recruits, was one of my favorites. Declare War on Yourself is another one on the channel to watch. And How to Create Wealth. Ooh, there's a lot of good segments on this channel just to help you build your empire. And I'm gonna tell you something, it's never too late, no matter what age you are. If you have a burning desire to want it bad enough, and turn the TV off, put in a couple hours a day in your own business, and I tell you what, your whole life will change within 6 months or sooner. But you got to get out there and go for it. Quit being the old you. See, the old you is what got you where you are today. It cannot get you here because you're carrying old stuff. You got to let that baggage go like a hot air balloon and take you up to new learnings and new possibilities. This channel for me was a challenge for me, but you know what? It's under my belt now. Guess what? Because I wanted it. Why? Some days I don't feel like it, but guess what? There's a lot of things in life you don't feel like. You don't feel like going to work Monday through Friday, but you do it. So if you do that, why can't you put an hour or two a day in your own business? Just turn off that TV set. All it's going to give you, honestly, is a red eyeballs and a hollowed head. It's nothing taking you closer to where you want to go. I say no 80% of the time more than I say yes, because most things I say no to is not taking me to the point where I want to go. It's taking me off where I want to go. I must stay laser focused. There's a reason why I'm where I'm at today and got here, because I started back there 36 years ago with focus and laser focus and getting to where I want to go today. And now I've got new horizons to go to, because why? There's more. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your time tonight. I please put a thumbs up, put a comment in the chat, in the comment if you can. We appreciate you. Go back and watch some of these videos that we have on the channel already. There's some great ones out there. And I just want to say thank you for your time tonight. And watch this over and over again, at least 2 or 3 times. Please watch it over and over again, because it is so important that it saturates your being, your spirit, your soul, your intersystem. And I'm telling you, I still watch my own videos. You know why? Because I'm still learning. I'm still ABC. School's never out for the perfect. I'm study learning. All I want to do is get better as well. I want to just raise those 21 millionaires up to 30, and then past that. What are your goals in life? Who are you helping? Well, once again, I want to say I'm going to wrap this call up. Please watch some of the other videos. Go back to the channel and revisit some of the videos on the channel and listen again and again. And do this. Share with your loved ones. And now you have something common to talk about. You know, as I see people in the holidays, they talk about small stuff. Why don't you have something solid to talk about? Friends that you're close to. Share this with them so you guys have something to talk about. Something that can help you grow. Share it, share it, share it. Listen to it. With a closed fist, I can't give or receive. The more I open and give, the more God will bless me with. Don't you get it? I'm always getting blessing. Isn't it gorgeous? That was a gift from Mr. Clemens. I'm always giving, people always giving to me. So be open to give, be open to learn. And if you can, I have a private channel. Go subscribe to the private channel on here too, because I do a lot of stuff that I talk about. Let's just say that. That's all I'm going to say. Go and subscribe to the private channel. We do it once a month, and it's so much information. Because I have more information. I think it was Brian Baker said, "Man, you lost, most stuff. You done lost most of the stuff you remember, because I got so much of experience under my belt." To be blessed for 36 years and never having a job. To be blessed to create 21 millionaires. To be blessed to talk to you tonight. But I hope it sinks in that you too can have the things you want, whatever your goals may be. And for those who are looking for a business residually, leave a comment with your name below. If you're not already in one, we'll help you get started in one, because I got a lot of superstars around me. My goal is to see everybody succeed. For those who really want it bad enough, you got to be willing to roll your sleeves up and go to work. Does that make sense? Well, listen, I've taken up enough of your time today on this call, but I want to say thank you out there for listening. Please, please, please share this with these 7 people. Let me say this. Share it with 7 people within the next 7 hours, and watch a blessing come your way in the next 7 days. I'll say it again. Share it with 7 people within the next 7 hours, and watch a blessing come your way within a week, 7 days. I know for sure. Hey, just do it. I'm looking forward to hearing your comments about that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Take care. God bless as always. We'll see you at the top, or we'll see you over the top. God bless you all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.